Hi YouTube, I am just about 2 months post-op. I'm down 33 pounds. I took a little bit of a break in between my videos this time just because this was definitely the time of the most change for myself. For starters, I'm back at school. That anyone who's just in college alone knows that the beginning of the semester you're crammed with everything and you're trying to remember everything that you learned last semester to carry through to these classes. And I mean, I know over winter break I did not look at a book, but I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of requests to film a video, and I probably filmed like 3 before this one. Just every single time it was such a different message that was coming out. So I decided that in this video I'm going to answer a lot of the questions that people had. And 2 months out isn't really a long amount of time. I'm back on solid foods, and there's still certain things I haven't tried yet, or certain things that I'm a little scared to try, but I feel like my life is kind of getting back to normal, and that's what I needed. I needed a break for myself just to take the pressure off a little bit and just start to live again and get back into my routine. So, I plan on answering some of the questions I've gotten, and the first one is, what is the best thing about having the sleeve? Honestly, getting dressed. I love to get dressed now and know that my things fit me and there are no muffin tops or back rolls or any of that. I mean, looking in the mirror sometimes I don't see it. I don't see 30 pounds. I think to myself, I kind of look the same. But I took a picture, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks before my surgery in a pair of bra and underwear. And I took a picture the other day, and I sent my entire family a picture of me and my underparents, comparing them, and it's a huge difference. I didn't necessarily see it. I could tell my clothes were fitting differently, and sometimes the scale would match how I felt, but until I put the two together, it was a huge difference. And just putting on a tight pair of jeans and a tight shirt, that's like a nice thing to do now. When I would go out with my friends, I didn't want to do that. So it is nice to get dressed and have clothing that's too big. And I have a huge butt. I never thought my leggings would get big on me. I'm walking around like an old lady now with like saggy leggings. I couldn't be happier. 33 pounds for, the way my body is shaped. I definitely feel it like in my hips and my stomach and my thighs, my leg. You feel it everywhere. But clothing wise, definitely my lower half has lost a lot of weight, which is really nice. So yeah, getting dressed, hands down the best part, hands down. Another question I get is, what is the hardest part about sharing your journey over the internet and with a lot of people? I usually get this question from people who have not spoken to their family about their procedure or are very limited to who they have told. The hardest part is, just putting pressure on myself. I come from a family that, there is no shame. We have to talk about our feelings. We're forced to confront each other if there's something wrong. And whether we're yelling and screaming at each other or praising the ground that we walk on, we're forced to just talk about how it is and how we feel. So this is kind of natural for me to express my feelings, and my brother and sister have told me they're protesting the videos. They don't want to hear me talk about myself anymore. They're over it. So the hardest part is just putting the pressure on myself to have other people hear it and, see how I'm doing. Because sometimes I don't necessarily feel that my number on the scale is where I want it to be. But, you have to look past that. I realize that the inches come off and don't always, connect to the scale. And that I like to do a lot of weights in the gym. And that doesn't always correlate to losing weight. So you know, I can't discredit the weight I've lost because I've worked hard at it, and, you know, it's averaging about 10 to 11 pounds a month, aside from the first drop in weight when, you know, you're on liquids. You're going to just drop it. So, you know, I have to think about that. I'm not on liquids anymore. I'm working hard. I'm doing the right thing. I'm eating the right thing, and the right thing will happen to me. So, you know, that's probably the hardest, but if it takes me embarrassing myself a little bit to, you know, inspire other people, then that's fine. I love, after I post a video, getting the messages and getting the emails and the text messages and the calls, and, you know, I think that it's worth it 100%. And you know, I'm lucky. My mom tells me I'm beautiful every single time I talk to her on the phone. If I FaceTime her and only half my face is in it, she's like, no, I want to see the whole thing. Like, you're beautiful. I love staring at you. So I'm lucky. Most people don't come from a supportive system the way I do, where, you know, my whole life I've been told that I can do whatever I want if I put my mind to it. And that's the truth. You know, I believe it. And, you know, I can do whatever I want when my mind is put to it. So, you know, 33 pounds, it's a good chunk of weight. And the hardest part about all of this, you know, the pros of these videos are so much higher and so much more than any con. You know, of course I get a negative comment, or people don't respect my choice to have surgery. And, you know, that's fine. You can have your opinion. But, you know, it's gone. My stomach's gone. I'm sorry. Like, my decision's been made. And at this point, I don't even want support from anyone. I don't need it. You know, I have the people around me who I know have my back 1,000% of the time. And that's fine, you know? Another question I get is, how do I tell people that I had the surgery? You know, it doesn't necessarily always come up as the first bit of conversation. I do eat kind of weird, and if I'm going out with someone for drinks, or, you know, just going out with my friends, a lot of times I don't need to order food. If I ate, you know, within an hour or so of going, I don't need to order food, or I can eat a little bit of an appetizer and be totally full. You know, I mean, I'm in college, so for starters, no one really cares. But there's a lot of temptation around me, and I think that when I tell the people around me what I've had done, they're more supportive about it. And, you know, it's college. There's munchies, and there's eating drunk at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I don't want to eat a celery stick at 2 o'clock in the morning. I want a burger. And sometimes I see food and I'm like, I don't care if this hurts me later to eat it, but I'm painfully full 20 minutes later, and I'm praying to God, begging him to let me live past this hour, and I promise to never eat anything ever again. So, you know, I'm still finding a balance in that between going out and, you know, being healthy. But I think that's a balance between anything, and you know, my friends are very supportive. They don't necessarily understand everything. I think that they're used to me being able to just take down food, and those days are definitely done. So, you know, I like to tell people. I don't mind it. I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about. When people don't agree with me having the surgery, that's their opinion. And I would put this on par with politics, where you cannot change anyone's mind. It's not even worth the conversation. Honestly, it gives me chest pains to think about it. Yeah, so, I mean, it's one part of me. It's not the whole package. You know, another part of having the surgery is your preparation. And, you know, a question I get is, what is something that you didn't do that you wish you had done before your surgery? And I have to say, I wish I had gotten a therapist who specialized in weight loss, eating disorders, you know, big lifestyle changes with weight. You know, my parents are able to provide that service for me, and they're able to afford to send me to someone who can help me with my anxiety and, you know, help me with all of these changes. So I think that if you're not all there in the head and you're going through these motions and, you know, you're a little bit lost, that's normal. But, you know, I know that I personally needed someone to help me bounce back a little bit, you know? The best thing my mom ever said to me was that people are definitely elastic and you can always bounce back from something. And, you know, I think that it's emotional, your hormones are changing, and, you know, you kind of don't know yourself anymore, and you have to relearn a lot of things about yourself, and just definitely talking to people throughout your process, I think, is the best advice I could give to anyone. I harassed people with questions before, and even now, I have friends who are further along in the process and family that's further along in the process, and I'm always asking them questions, always talking to them, and there are times that eating is annoying. You know, I still love to eat, and now I love food. Don't get me wrong, I love just eating something that tastes delicious, but the entire process of it sucks. Like, it's annoying, you know? I take forever to eat, and I can take a meal from a restaurant home and literally eat it from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And, you know, that's fine. I'm saving money for sure. But, you know, I think that definitely keeping your head in check throughout all of this is the best thing you could do for yourself. So I'm not sure when my next video will be posted, but I'm definitely adjusting to this, and I'm back to normal and really on a schedule. I think that's really important. So, you know, if you have questions, my email is available, my Twitter, my Instagram, anything you want to message me, that's fine. And, you know, I also am selling my clothing on Poshmark, all my big things are being sold, and that's a really great feeling. So, you know, it's also an inexpensive way to update your wardrobe as you're losing this weight. I don't need to go and spend $100 on a pair of jeans right now when in another 2 months they're not going to fit either. So I can go onto Poshmark and trade all my stuff, and it doesn't cost me a dime, and I'm making money off of it. So if you're interested in looking at any of that, the link will be below. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it.